No, I don't think this watch is for everyone. At least not right away. Let me tell you why. Why would I say something like that? This is the Hamilton Khaki, the icon. Everybody has to love the Hamilton Khaki. You hear it left and right. The best value watch under $1,000. Perfect watch for your adventures. I don't agree. Don't turn off the video yet. I love the watch, don't get me wrong. But it took me a while. Let me tell you a bit more, and maybe you will see that this watch is not for you. Not for you yet, or everything I say is a bollocks, and you don't have to agree with me. And that's okay. People don't have to agree with their favorite YouTubers. To understand better the confusing intro, you gotta understand when in my watch collecting journey I got the watch. See, I was still new. Addicted, but new. I had a couple of watches already. I saw like 1 million videos telling me that I need a field watch in my collection, otherwise my collection and life apparently wouldn't be complete and my life would suck. And what other field watch to get than the granddaddy of old field watches? The Khaki Mechanical. But also by the time I watched like 1 million videos telling me what to and what not to do with your mechanical watch, that the mechanical watch doesn't do well with vibrations. And I was like, but I really want to wear this watch on my motorbike. It's an adventurous watch, it's a soldier's watch. And then you see that the mechanical only has 50 meters of water resistance. I don't know how about you, but when you say field watch, soldier's watch, this is something what I have in mind? A whole lot of vibrations and water resistance. And then the worst thing, you start reading the forums saying that Hamiltons indeed are not really good with water resistance. But that wasn't enough to set me off. I really believed I needed one, you see. So I did a little bit of research and I found out this model. This is Quartz. I know this is not for everyone. There is a lot of people believing that Quartz watches don't have soul. But they're alright. The Quartz model actually made perfect sense for me. I didn't have to worry about the vibrations. The Quartz model, unlike the mechanical, has 100 meters of water resistance, although being from push-pull crown only. And apart from that, it looks exactly the same. So, full of excitement, I actually got lucky. I found a new old stock for about 250 euros. I made a purchase, I waited a couple of never-ending days, and then I finally got it. The packaging looks stunning. Full of excitement, I opened the box and was like, huh? That it? That is what everyone is talking about? This is the mighty Hamilton Khaki? Honestly, it looked a little bit boring. First of all, the watch arrived on this brown leather strap, which, although looking like a good quality, is just ugly and thick, almost as thick as the watch. It doesn't scream action, it doesn't scream adventure, go out there and do something. Plus, the watch being so thin, it basically begs to be worn on a NATO, and it matches the military background. Second of all, was the all bead blasted finish. Although utilitarian, and again matching the military background, it was boring. See, thanks to this watch I actually realized that I don't like all bead blasted finish on the watch. Some of you probably already noticed that I high polished the bezel. Yeah, again, that was stupid, don't do it. But all things considered, I'm actually happy with the way it turned out. I like it way more now. And this might actually surprise you, but I'm not a soldier. I'm actually an IT guy. I don't mind my watch being a bit blingy. I probably didn't want to admit that I was slightly disappointed. I didn't want to admit it to myself. So I changed the strap, I high polished the bezel, and I kind of forced myself to wear the watch all the time. But the worst part is that the horror stories from the forums were still lingering in my head. So I was a little bit afraid to use the watch the way I actually intended to. More and more I caught myself just wearing it to the office or party or, cinema. I didn't really use it for the adventure I wanted it for. And that is why I call this video a paradox watch. Just for comparison, let me show you this one. This is another field watch I got not so long after the Khaki. It is a watch from San Martin. It's their take on Dirty Dozen style of watch. And for the most part, this hurts to say, but I believe it's everything that Khaki was supposed to be, spec-wise. It's like 1/5 of the price. Just like Khaki, it has a Swiss-made movement. Ronda, not ETA, but still Swiss-made. Just like Khaki, it has sapphire crystal. Unlike Khaki, it actually has a usable loom and screw-down crown. It kind of feels that this watch can survive it all. It kind of feels like this watch is built for adventure. I think I got psychological issues taking a watch with only push-pull crown swim. I'm weird. So why did I keep it? Well, it's a goddamn Hamilton Khaki, the icon. Second of all, the more I actually wore the watch, the more I started to understand the watch really. The fact that there is nothing done by accident. The subtle details and design decisions, they're all there for a reason. They have their purpose. How it all works together and how it all makes this piece incredibly cohesive. See, I don't think the problem was the watch in the first place. I think I got the watch too early in my watch collecting journey, when I simply wasn't mature enough to appreciate it for what it is. When I could only appreciate specs for the money. And I couldn't really appreciate the fact that there is more to this game than specs for the money. Now, this particular piece is one of their older models. Hamilton is still offering the Quartz versions of Khaki, but the price is honestly insane. So if I were you and you were aiming for the Quartz just like I did, I would shop around really. I think the newer models looks actually better. They're a little bit more modern, they come with a high polish bezel right away. But if I should be completely honest, if I was to buy the Khaki again, I would go for the mechanical version. Given the fact that it's more like a party and office adventure and not really adventure watch anyway, so yeah. But that doesn't change the fact that I absolutely love the design now. Yes, it's very simple, and you cannot really talk about any depth on the dial. It's busy, but busy in the way that you're instantly sure what time it is. Busy in the way that it's simple and utilitarian at the same time, if that makes any sense. I really like the fact that the text is kept to a minimum here. There is only Hamilton sign above the pinion and Khaki below the pinion. And that's it, everything else is just numbers. Starting with super crisply printed minute rack with numbers on 5-minute increments, and then what makes Khaki the Khaki. The 24-hour dial. What Americans would call military time, we Europeans would call just time. You have numbers from 1 to 12, where you would normally have hour indices. Except for 3, there is a date window. It is super simple, it's white, and it has a frame. And then you have 13 to 24 closer to the dial. Although it may seem at first like a whole lot of numbers, it somehow just works. Together with the needle-style hands that are perfectly proportioned to the dial, you instantly know what the time is. The hands reach exactly where they are supposed to. The second hand somewhat hits the markers, not all of them. It has an arrow tip and lollipop counterbalance. It's all simple, well thought out, matte, brushed, not blingy, with some sort of a fake patina on this particular model. It plays well to this military style. It works. There are design elements that make the dial visually more interesting. For instance, the 1 to 12 hour markers reside on a separate circle, if it makes sense, which is a little bit angled so it reflects light differently. The dial has like a really subtle sunburst effect. So when the light hits it, you can see the separation between the circles. And it's kinda cool. The sapphire crystal covering the dial is domed and it's making a pretty good job of making the video of this watch a nightmare. It's super reflective. As far as I can say, there is no anti-reflective coating. The fact that it's domed kind of gives it the vintage advantage that again plays with the military style, and I'm glad they used the sapphire crystal. Another thing that you start appreciating the more you use the watch is actually the crown. It's an awesome crown, let me tell you. It's big, grippy, it's signed with H for Hamilton, apparently. And damn, it feels good to operate that one. It doesn't even feel like you're trying to change the time on the watch. It feels like you're operating some sort of super mechanical stuff. Every step of the crown, every click is incredibly solid. Even when you change the date, or when you get to change the time, there is like zero backplay. The hands instantly react to every single slight turn of the crown. And this is how, in my opinion, crowns should feel like. Just look at the size of the tube underneath. It's very difficult to show on the video. This is simply something you have to feel for yourself. But believe me, it's awesome. The case back here is actually really nice too. Nothing crazy. It's nicely signed with a Hamilton logo and specs around. It's screw down, helping with those 100 meters of water resistance that I will probably never get to try. Everybody probably knows the dimensions, but I will pop them up on the screen. The point I'm trying to make here is that there is just more than a specs on a paper to this game. Swiss-made watches are always going to be more expensive. That's the fact. If you go solely after specs, you'll be better off with something like the San Martin I showed you before. And this watch is not for you. But with Hamilton, the Hamilton, you actually get the original, the icon. Hamilton, original American company now Swiss, has been in countless movies, on a wrist of countless stars. It has a genuine military history. The design actually came from something. And when you wear it, it actually gives you this weird Americana vibe that other watches simply cannot make. It is the granddaddy of field watches for a reason. You cannot really put that down on a paper as a spec. Would I love it more if it has a screw-down crown? Yes. Would I love it more if it had anti-reflective coating? Totally. Will I sell it? No, I don't think so. Now I honestly get why everyone keeps on recommending this watch. Now I honestly get why everyone talks about it that way. It is an awesome piece. I absolutely love it. But it took me a while. I think I simply had to grow as a watch collector to fully appreciate it. Okay guys, that has been it for today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, I thank you for watching this far. And please feel free to drop a comment of what could be improved for the next time. Also, I would really like to thank everyone who watched the last video. I feel incredibly humbled by the response I got. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you very much. Till next time. Cheers.